Alright, since we didn't get quite the ending we were looking for in the last game, I chose another PvZ from Puck, playing a Barcode Zerg in the top left corner. Again, going for the probe scout after the pylon. Barely misses the hatchery. We'll get to see the gas timing and go block the third and see when that's coming down. So it was a Nexus first into gateway. We'll go ahead and get the second gateway and both his gases again, just like last game. Seems like the same gas timing as before. Surprised he's going back before checking the third. Actually, I think he did see a drone already at the third and just kind of assumed it was going to go down. How to use the force field here, it's a bit unfortunate. He is up in the supply though. In this game, he is chrono boosting the probes instead of the second round of gateway units. So I really like this because now you just really see his economy booming a lot more, and the supply is really even between the two. I would have liked to see, especially with this surplus of probes, him getting the Vespene geysers faster. He has the money right now, but has not thrown that down. It looks like he will be going for the faster third base. Anyways, while on the Zerg side of the map, he's getting a Baneling nest and just starting +1 and a lair going up. Doesn't really seem like he knows what he wants to do. I guess the Banelings are just for defense. He saw the army composition of the Protoss though and saw that there were no adepts. So it's interesting that he's rushing for the Lings and Banelings, getting this macro hatchery. So just now we see the gases coming down for Puck or finishing. Up to 6 gateways. No Twilight tech yet, no Forge. Would like to see what he's going to follow up with, but right now he's focused on this Warp Prism play in the main. Doing a great job using this choke against the Zerg, and he's just completely going to overwhelm him here in the main. And already Puck is up 5 supply, and it looks like he's going to get the lair. Wow. At home we see a Twilight and the Forge going down, and just chronoing out Immortals for some follow-up defense or maybe a follow-up push. The Zerg has not restarted his lair. There we see it has been restarted. For now, he'll probably just have to get +1 missiles or carapace while he's waiting for his lair. He could get a second Evo while all this is happening, but it looks like he's just sitting around making nothing really. Maybe some more drones. In his production now we see 10 more Lings, another Queen on the way. But just really not much going on from the Zerg. I'd like to see Puck. I would have liked to have seen him get a Robo Bay down sooner and start getting into some Colossus. Although he knows it is probably going to be a more roach heavy army since he killed the lair. It looks like he had already gotten Baneling speed started. He's got +2 melee on the game. On the way already. This is looking a lot like the last game, really. Great force fields, but the Ravagers help break those down so that this fight can go on for the Zerg. It's hard to say who's trading well, but Puck's got all these Immortals left. Zerg would have gone any more there. Puck could have turned on him and probably taken that fight. 3 more gateways going down and the Temple Archives. He's already seen the Banelings, so I would love to see Storm happening. But again, he's only going to go for Archons at the moment. Gonna get his 4th base going down while Zerg was really starting his 5th before the 4th even finished. I'm gonna go into... sorry, I thought that was a Spire for a moment. We don't really see any follow-up tech. Still needs to take this other gas in his main. I really like the Archon drop, because there's really no anti-air here from the Zerg. Got the Zerg to waste some Banelings, but ended up losing the Archon, so I think it was a better trade for the Zerg in the end. I think a second Forge at this point would be good. It's past 10 minutes and he only has +1 attack. I think shields for how many Archons he's going for would be great. I'd like to see the chrono boost on his other things other than the Nexus, because he already has more than enough probes. He can be using the Chronos elsewhere. At the moment, Protoss is only back 10 supply. If this base gets droned up without any repercussions, I think we're going to start to see the gap for Zerg again going ahead. Should move some of these drones and take this gas. These are the things I typically catch people on slipping the most when I view their games, is just bad worker management and kind of when to take the gases. I don't know, I don't really think the Zerg should be taking this fight, but if he gets huge Bane hits, it'd be real ugly. But I think Puck is going to be able to clean this up. He's going to, well, I was going to say he's going to lose all the immortals in the process, but you can at least pick up 2 by the end of this. It's a pretty sketchy fight. Still no charge. Oh my gosh. Charge just now finished. It looks like Storm is just finishing too, but there's no High Templar out on the map. He can be moving so many of these probes to his 4th base, he could completely fill it up. There we see he did do that. Four of these could probably still beat his natural, because he's full here, still missing 5 here, and there we see he's moving them to the 4th. So the upgrades for the Zerg still only at plus. Okay, it's a +2 melee. Still bad management here in the main. Only 7 drones here. Puck notices it and is going to get a nice warp in over there. Still no further tech other than the Storm from Puck. He is getting these 4 High Templar filled with energy. A nice take of this hatchery. You should kind of assume that one of your hatcheries are going to be going down once you're at this point of the game, and you can just kind of start running your drones around from one to the other. But that +2 melee from Zerg is helping him keep this base alive. Puck couldn't warp more in and just overtake the base. Creep spread is starting to get pretty big, and which starts to make Storm really not help nearly as much when you have to go and fight on this creep, and there's just so many units. I mean, it's still going to be great to have and pretty necessary, but it just becomes a little less effective when even when he's defending at home, he's going to have to fight on creep. Glad to see him getting his 5th base up. I really think getting those Colossus earlier in the game, if he would be up to like 4 or 5 Colossus right now, I mean, obviously with the gas now, like, well, he's put a lot in Archons, 600 more into those 2 Archons. But I think he could have had Colossus and Storm. But then you risk the Zerg going for air. But you just gotta keep sending hallucinations for that, because you want to have sentries for your Colossus anyway. So you send hallucinations and figure out if there's gonna be a meter transition you decide to hit then, or you start putting down your Stargates. I think he could have just ran all these Banelings into the Nexus and gotten a good trade on it. You know, you leave yourself a little vulnerable, and the probes could just run over here. But I think at this point in the game, well, he's not maxed out, but if he were maxed out, he would definitely want to make the trade and reinforce. And there he is reinforcing with 34 links to nearly max out, but they're both only 15 supply from maxing. So, still no further tech developments from Puck, no more extra gateways, just totally building off what he already has and trying to get up another base secure. Really needs to get this gas and move some drones around. Still hasn't taken this gas all game. Built these gases, not taking them, but he isn't starving for gas right now. Huge Muta switch could be pretty cool, but it kind of looks like that's what he's thinking. I don't think he's going to be able to handle this base. He's going to try to run over, but he's losing the bases in the top RA too. He's going to lose this base. And at this point, Puck can just hit some big storms here, run away and accept his trade, and keep reproducing like he has been all game. Just really, he's stayed pretty low tech for this part of the game. Only just now getting his +3, has 2 Twilight upgrades, there's no Robo Bay, there's no Stargate. He is just making lots of units, trying to take expansions, defend them, and just win the numbers game really and have a bit, take better fights. Positionally, he did really well, killing all 3 of these bases at once. Really tore the Zerg apart there. So he did try to go for that big Mew switch, but he doesn't even have the minerals to make these Mews at this point. I'm going to go ahead and call it and say the game is over and speed this thing up. Still, just never any more upgrades behind the Zerg. No Carapace, nothing. He was making Ravagers and some Roaches during the game. Could have gone ahead and made the missiles. But anyways, good game. Well played by Puck. Glad to see him get the win in this one. So thank you guys for watching, and keep following the channel to see what comes next. Thanks. Bye.